Before we get into today's chat, quick one. If you're not 100% sure how your HR is really holding up, take our free HR health check. It's short, jargon-free, and gives you a clear score on what's working and what needs a bit of love. And if you do it before 1st April 2026, you'll get a bonus 7-pillar strategy on a page, tailored to help you manage HR brilliantly for the year ahead. Just head to kateunderwoodhr.co.uk/HR-health-check or check the link in the show notes.
Hello, Hive mates, and welcome back to Buzzing About HR, the podcast that turns fiddly people problems into sweet golden honey for the small business owner. I'm Kate Underwood, your resident HR queen bee, and full disclosure, my desk currently holds more coffee mugs than pens. Today, we're talking about a particularly British institution, the sickie. You know the one. I can't possibly come in because the dog looks sad. Or its 21st century cousin, I'll be working from my duvet. But behind every tongue-in-cheek headline is a very real, very expensive issue for small firms. So, over the next 20 minutes or so, I'll guide you through the latest stats, the legal guardrails, the hidden costs, a few frankly ridiculous excuses, and a bit of tech magic that spares you from the spreadsheet purgatory. Kettle on, let's buzz. The state of the British sickie. First, the numbers. The CIPD Health and Wellbeing at Work survey tells us that the typical UK employee chalked up 7.8 days of sickness absence last year, the worst we've seen in more than a decade. That isn't a blip, it's a 2-day jump on the final pre-pandemic year of 2019. If you felt as though half your team have been downloading daytime television instead of spreadsheets, you're not imagining it. In fact, the Office for National Statistics points out that those missed days now swallow 3.4% of the UK's total working time, effectively meaning one person out of every 30 is off sick at any one given moment. And no, it's not just winter sniffles. Mental health-related absence is the big climber. Anxiety, depression, and burnout together have overtaken back pain as the leading long-term cause for workers under 44. Even the CIPD's own researchers flagged that this is a wake-up klaxon moment for employers. Now, if you're running a business with 10 staff, every one of those 7.8 days lands squarely on your lap. There is no giant middle management cushion to soak it up. It's you, the client deadline, and the ringing phone. Which is why today's show is squarely small business flavoured. Large corporates have occupational health teams and HRS dashboards the size of Starship Enterprise. Most of my clients have a heroic office manager who's also head of biscuits. That's who I'm talking to. Translating statistics into real money. Let's do the maths together. Promise it won't be painless. From the 1st of April 2025, the national living wage for anyone 21 and over jumps to £12.21 an hour. Multiply that by a standard 7.5-hour day, and you're just at £91 in basic pay. Take a modest 5-person firm. Those 7.8 days of absence per head clock up to almost 300 lost hours a year. At national living wage, that's a direct wage cost in the region of £3,500. Money you pay out exactly as though everyone turned up, but which delivers 0 widgets, haircuts or lattes in return. Scale to 10 employees and the bill hits a little over £7,000. For 25 staff, you're past 17 grand, and at 50, you're flirting with the cost of a brand new electric van. And remember, that's only the wage line. If you cover shifts with freelancers at 30% premium, or your one missing barista means that Saturday queue snakes out the cafe door and half of those would-be flat whites march off to Cafe Nero, the true hit is far bigger. The image I share with finance directors is this. Imagine stacking every missed hour into a single block at year end. A 10-person firm loses nearly 3 working weeks in sickness every year. Picture 3 desks in your office being empty from the 1st of January until the 21st of January. That's what it costs. Legal sat-nav, staying on the right side of the Equality Act. All roads in absence management eventually lead to employment law. So let's pop our seatbelts on. No Latin, I promise. First up is the Equality Act 2010. Many long-term health issues, physical and mental, count as disabilities as if they last or are expected to last at least 12 months and subsequently affect normal day-to-day life. Once that definition is met, you, as an employer, shoulder a legal duty to make reasonable adjustments in the real world that might mean allowing phased return to work hours, providing a different chair for chronic back pain, or letting an anxiety-prone team member start at 10 rather than 8:30 to dodge the rush hour crush. Skip those adjustments and you run straight into disability discrimination claim. The average award, which came in last year, was just a little over £21,000, not to mention the solicitor's fees, management time, and the PR headache of seeing your brand name on an employment tribunal judgment. Next, everyone's favourite, statutory sick pay. It's set nationally at £123.25 per week for up to 28 weeks and kicks in on day 4 of any spell of sickness. Plenty of small business supplement that with a week or 2 weeks full pay because it feels compassionate and it encourages honesty. But due to the check and balance flows implications before making promises you can't sustain. Add data protection. Illness information is special category data under GDPR. Translation: you cannot scribble Claire's endometriosis details on a sticky note and leave it on a desktop monitor. Lock it down. Finally, if absence becomes unmanageable, you may enter the capability process. That path, medical evidence, occupational health advice, formal meetings, right of appeal, is long and deliberately so, because terminating for ill health is a last resort. My motto: document as though they're going to court, even if you never will. Future you will thank present you. A practical toolkit fit for a 2-page policy. I spend half my consultancy life paring clients' absence policies down from War and Peace to something that actually gets read. Aim for 2 pages and a flowchart. State who a sick employee contacts, how and by what time. Hint: a phone call is harder to make than fake a WhatsApp emoji at 0217. Then pledge a return to work chat every single time. 5 calm minutes, a brew, 2 questions, how are you now, and is there anything we can tweak to help? Managers often think these meetings are detective work. They're not. They're deterrent. People are statistically less likely to throw a casual sickie if they know they must face a conversation about it. And they're also genuine welfare checks. Triggers come next, and the Bradford factor is the crowd favourite because it weights frequency. 3 separate one-day absences adds up to a Bradford score of 27, while 1 3-day chunk is only 3. Decide where you'll flash amber, say 200, and where you go red tomato, maybe 400. When someone crosses amber, have an informal chat. Red, you're into a formal stage of your policy. Speed matters. If Pete in the warehouse says that the slip disc isn't improving after 2 weeks, don't wait until 4 months to send him to occupational health. Early OH involvement can be the difference between a 6-week absence and a 6-month absence. And never underestimate micro-flexibility. I once had a graphic designer whose asthma peaked when commuting on cold, wet winter mornings. We let him log in from home until 10 on really damp days, and his absence dropped from 9 days to 2. Cost us nothing, saved us a fortune. Breathe HR, from spreadsheet slog to dashboard delight. Now, confession time. I'm not paid by Breathe HR to gush, but I've rolled it out for more than 40 clients and watched shoulders physically lower. Why? Because it replaces the need to play sickness statistical detective. If you can say that better than me, please feel free to do so. Let me paint the picture. Traditional setup. An employee rings your mobile at 7:42 a.m. whilst you're spreading butter on the kids' toast. You scribble Sam, stomach bug, on the back of an electricity bill. At 8:10, you transcribe that onto an Excel spreadsheet on your office PC. That is, if you remember to do so. 3 weeks later, your co-director wants to know who's been off next Friday, and you scroll down columns 3 screens wide, hunting for your colour coding you forgot to apply. Familiar? With Breathe, Sam opens the mobile app, taps sickness, selects gastro, presses submit. You receive an instant email, and crucially, so does your line manager. Bradford scores update in real time. If Sam's absences nudge the 200 trigger, your inbox politely pings, Sam Jones, frequency has reached your amber threshold. Click here to schedule a meeting. Think of it as Outlook meeting invites bred with Doctor Who's psychic paper. Then there's the calendar overlay. Annual leave, sickness, working from home days, training, all layered into cheerful colours. No more double booking the only forklift driver because his approved holiday sits on a page 2 of your A4 wall planner. Breathe ran a huge customer survey last year and discovered the SMEs saved 3.8 hours of admin every single week. Over a year, that's nearly 200 working hours. 26 full working days. If you're paying yourself the national minimum wage, that clocks $2,500. If you charge clients at consultancy rates, quadruple it. And this, dear listener, is a real kicker. The software costs the rough equivalent of 2 cappuccinos a week. One of my clients, Posture People, 12 staff, recouped the licence fee in the first month when the system flagged a migraine trend. They swapped harsh strip lighting for daylight LEDs and collective absence dropped by a day per head. That's the crystal ball you wish you had. A story with fur, Ginny's dog groomers. I adore a real-world illustration, so meet Ginny. She runs a bijou dog grooming parlour with 5 groomers, all paid the national living wage. On paper, that's £12.21 per hour, just over £91 a day. Ginny's 5 staff, when averaged, chalk up the national 7.86 day figures. That alone empties £3,571 from her wage pot. But grooming is revenue per hour. A schnauzer clip costs 45 quid and takes about an hour. Across those 7.8 days, Ginny waves goodbye to 47 dogs, or £2,115 in turnover. Because the salon is appointment only, she can't squeeze extra pooches in next month. To keep regulars happy, she hires a freelance groomer at £15 an hour for half the missed shifts. Another £880. Add it up and the total absence hits around £6,500. That swallows 50% of her profit. Worse, every sudden absence means phoning Baxter, the Cocker Spaniel's owner, to cancel, denting loyalty. Ginny rolled out Breathe and, more importantly, the habits around it. Mandatory return to work chats, quarterly trend reviews. She learned that Mondays were the biggest problem. She arranged the rota so each groomer worked one Saturday every 4 weeks and always had the following Monday off. Sick days fell by one per head, saving £835 immediately back to the bottom line, plus a calmer diary. The saga of sick pay Sam. Every workplace has a Sam. Sam is lovely. Sam makes a mean Victoria sponge for charity bake sales, but Sam also manages to fall ill a suspicious number of Fridays. Here's the roadmap I give managers. Evidence first. The Breathe dashboard shows Sam has racked up 5 separate single-day absences in 3 months. Bradford's score is red. Chat second. Sit down informally. Sam, look, your attendance pattern worries me. Are you okay? Anything at work that's feeding this? Sometimes you unlock a genuine issue. Sam might be caring for his mum every Thursday night and rolling into work shattered, and the solution is flexible hours not working. Occupational health third. If it could be medical, commission a short form occupational health telephone assessment. For about £100, you get clarity. Formal stage 1. If no underlying condition appears, set clear expectations. 6 weeks without further incidents. Document, offer support. Stage 2. Only if Sam slips back. Written warning, timescale, potential outcome of dismissal. By this point, you'll have medical evidence, meeting minutes, and a trail so neat even Sherlock Holmes would applaud. The magic is that most Sams improve after stage 1. Not because you scared them, because you showed you were watching fairly and supportively. Team spitting excuses from the HR crypt. I promised lighter notes, so let me share 3 genuine excuses logged with UK managers this year. Number 1. A dog bit me and I'm traumatised. Apparently, web-footed flashbacks preclude spreadsheets. Number 2. It's my dog's birthday and he needs a party planner. I am 100% pro-dog, but even I stop short of canine party leave. Number 3. This is my personal favourite. My only pair of work trousers shrank in the wash and I'm worried Zoom could turn risky. If you're screaming internally now, remember, humour is a coping strategy. Log the absence accurately, send the return to work form, try not to picture the duck. Wrapping up the Hive takeaways. So my busy bees, let's recap in human sentences rather than bullet points. Sick absence is higher than it's been since the early 2010s, and thanks to the climb in minimum wage, every lost day is pricier too. In small firms, even one day feels like pulling the Jenga block from the base of a tower because there's no slack built into the system. Your legal compass is the Equality Act, statutory sick pay rules and good GDPR hygiene. Follow them and the path is well lit. Drift off and you're wading through the nettles of tribunal territory. You can't magic illnesses away, but you can shrink costs of absence by talking early, triggering fairly, and using text that sends you an email instead of asking you to channel Mystic Meg. Breathe HR is my go-to because it roughly saves 4 hours of people admin every single week. Time you can redeploy into sales, strategy, or radical thought, an actual lunch break. And perhaps the biggest lesson is cultural. People aren't robots. Create a space where it's safe to admit, I'm struggling, and you'll reduce both the fake sickie and the genuine 6-month burnout. That's a wrap on the Great British Sickie, Small Business Edition. If you'd like my downloadable absence cost calculator or a cheeky Breathe discount link, buzz over to kateunderwoodhr.co.uk. Next week, we'll look at affordable AI tools that won't alienate your recruitment budget. In the meantime, keep your policies short, your conversations kind, and your records tidy. And of course, keep buzzing. I've been Kate Underwood. Thank you for lending me your ears.
That's it for today. But if you fancy a bit of friendly HR advice in your inbox with zero waffle, come and join our newsletter. We send out bite-sized tips, plain English updates, and handy things you'll actually use. No spam, no fluff. You can sign up at kateunderwoodhr.co.uk/newsletter-sign up or just hit the link in the show